Hey everyone, I hope you're having the best day ever. This is the Tuesday here on the day I'm recording it, so I'm hoping it's the best Tuesday ever for myself. So we're kicking off with week 5 of our composition course. This week we are continuing our journey into informative writing, building directly on the descriptive and informative work we've been practicing over the last few weeks. So last week we focused on narrowing topics, structuring essays, and integrating sources effectively. This week, we are going to take it a step further by exploring research strategies, evaluating sources, and learning the basics of MLA and APA formatting. So first things first, if you have not went over the assignment sheet, you need to go back up to week 4. It is right here, Informing on Your Future Profession online assignment sheet. You open that bad boy, and it will be open right here, Informing on Your Future Profession. Final draft due Sunday, October 12th, 2025. If you are writing an APA, at minimum, you'll be turning in 5 pages, that first page being your cover page, title page, plus then your 3 pages of content that you are writing, and then that reference page. If you are writing an MLA, well, you know how it goes. You start at the top, and then you just continue on down, plus that works cited page. So MLA users, realistically, you're turning in 4 pages. But I'm going to backpedal to where we are. So I'm going back down to week 5, because that's where we are this week. So this week, we're going to be starting with a couple of PowerPoints, informative writing, more instructor feedback on informative essay on how to structure that PowerPoint. This one focuses more on just the introduction and body paragraph, which is going to go hand in hand with what we're doing in the assignment, but I'm going to get to that just here in a minute. Beyond the informative writing, structure of an informative essay thing, we will be working on integrating sources effectively. So make sure to go through that PowerPoint because it reinforces how to use evidence and quote your quotes properly in your essays. Once you're done with those PowerPoints, you need to segue down to your videos. If you're an MLA user, just watch your MLA. If you're APA, watch your APA. If you want to watch both MLA and APA, rock your socks off. I don't care. I suggest if you are probably in a medical field or a psychology field or something along that nature that you should start practicing APA in this class. I would rather you practice APA, make a few mistakes in here, we revise it, we edit it, we do better the next time than go to a 4-year where we potentially might accidentally plagiarize and then gets into the plagiarism review board and have to deal with all that extra stuff. So just take a moment and think about it. Which one do you want to write in? Alrighty, so once we're beyond your PowerPoints and your videos, we're going to move on to the assignments. So one thing you're going to miss this week is the discussion post. I nixed that. I thought we would just solely focus on our annotated bib. So what I want to talk about annotated bib-wise, which is right here, it's due the 26th. So if you open it, annotated bibs are key steps in your research writing because they help you organize and evaluate your sources before you start drafting your essay. Each entry isn't just a citation, it's a summary of the source, an evaluation of its credibility, and a reflection on how it connects to your topic. Completing an annotated bib ensures that the sources you are using are reliable, relevant, and ready to support your argument, making the final essay stronger and more focused. So here are the instructions. So for the informing on your future profession, you are only required to use 3 outside sources. So for your annotated bib, you are only going to be doing 3 outside sources. So here's an example of how to do a citation in MLA and then down here in APA. And here's just a quick summary and the relevance and how it'll work. But truly, it's just summary, 2 to 3 sentences, and the relevance and why you're using it, 1 to 2. It's very minimal, but effective. Beyond that, you'll be moving on to the drafting workshop, introduction plus 1 body paragraph. So yeah, you're going to be writing your paper. So I'm going to right click that. Drafting workshop, there's your instructions. But this drafting workshop is you starting to draft your introduction in your 1 body paragraph. Remember, this is a step towards your full informative essay. So try to focus on your clarity, your evidence, and proper citation. So I just want to remind you that all of the stuff we're doing builds on what we did earlier in the semester, whether it was last week or in the descriptive writing unit and with all your initial research. You've been practicing and developing ideas, organizing paragraphs, and using sensory details. Now we're just expanding those skills into a more academic research and formal writing, giving you the tools to support your ideas with credible evidence and proper formatting. By the end of this week, you'll not only have a strong paragraph draft, but also a solid foundation for writing research-based essays in MLA or APA. So remember, the goal this week is to think like a researcher. Evaluate your sources, integrate evidence thoughtfully, and present your ideas in a structured, professional way. Again, if you have any questions or concerns, please reach out by email or we can set up a phone conference, whatever works for you. Have a lovely week.